Okay, I'm hoping that people are going to be joining me soon. Hello, well done if you've moved across. Whoever's here, if you could possibly, I'm hoping that other people are going to be. Hi, Liz. Hi. Did you come across from the other live that seemed to just free? Hello, Kitty. Hello. Hello, Pug Lover again. Well done, everybody. Hello. Hi, Charlene. Alida, hello. Well done. Thank you, everybody. Don't know what happened there. One moment it was live, and the next moment it just sort of froze on me. It said I had excellent connection, but it didn't want to do it. Oh, thank you, Anne-Marie. Hello, Alida. Hi, Libla. Hello, darling. How are you? Hi, Kathy. How are you, darling? Hello, Natasha, Charlene. Oh, that's great, Libla. Okay, how many, we got a lot of you here. I think I'm going to start shortly. Just wanted to, before I start pulling some cards for everybody, I just wanted to make a couple of announcements. Number one, I am doing your 2022 yearly readings at the moment. So I have done Taurus, Scorpio, Aries, and Aquarius. So I have a little set of cards, and Spirit tells me which one to do next. So I think the next one I've got that's put out is for Cancer, but I'm looking to get, well, all of these have to be done by the end of this week. So if I haven't done yours yet, it will be in the next few days. I am focusing on a kind of 3 sections, really. It's sort of all about you, obviously, where you are energetically, and sort of big spirit messages for you. And then I'm looking at love and romance and relationships, and then we're looking at career and life path. So when you come to look at your reading, you might resonate with all of it. You might resonate just with one part of the reading, or 2 or 3, or 2 parts of the reading. Obviously, if it's 3, it's all of it. So those I'm focusing on. I also wanted to say I'm really, really, really grateful and delighted to say that my Arrogato readings, which I announced on Thanksgiving, thank you to all of you who have donated and booked a reading with me. Since Thursday, we have raised over $1,100. So I'm really delighted. There are still some spaces left if you want to have a reading. So the Arrogato readings are, Arrogato means thank you in Japanese, and they are a sort of giving and receiving flow of energy and blessings. And what I am saying is give what you can, donate what you can, and you will receive an online personal reading with me. And all donations are going to Help for Homeless, which is a wonderful charity in the UK here, based in the West Country. Very small charity, has been running for about 3 years, and they're hands-on on the streets, helping the homeless, and also helping those homeless that have got sheltered accommodation, but it tends to be unfurnished. So they're helping them with furniture as well. So thank you to all of you who have very kindly booked a reading. So we've got almost 30 people here. Hi, Anna. Hi, Donna. Okay. Hi, Lily from the Northwest, Pacific Northwest. Thank you, darling. Thank you, Libla. Okay, let's move ahead. I am going to pull a few general cards for you all. I think I'm going to start. Where am I going to start, Spirit? I'm going to start with the energy oracle cards that I've been using for the 2022 readings, and we will pull a card or two from Spirit for those of you that are here. Thank you, Spirit. Thanks, Kitty. Okay, let's see what Spirit has to say. Thank you for everybody who's here and for those that Spirit intends to watch. Well, now, which card did this come out? This is actually very funny because on the bottom of the deck, we've got Doorway to Spirit that they've given us again. And this card came out, I think, on my second live I did. And I was just talking about the orbs, and all these little orbs appeared, which quite a few people mentioned actually afterwards. So the door to spirit is open. I had just before this live started saying thank you to spirit for the doorway being open. So spirit is very much here. I have been getting quite a lot of little orbs in this room. People have been commenting on different videos. So it's very lovely when that happens. Thank you, spirit. And we've also got the door to romance. So this is a very lovely start for some of you in this room. The door to romance. What I'm feeling with this card, and I think this came up in the Aquarius reading, I'm not sure, but it's all about new beginnings for you. It's new beginnings in the form of self-love. It's new beginnings with a relationship as well. What spirit is saying is it's already happened. The door has opened. Okay, you've almost pushed it open with your foot, with your intentions. The door is opened. It's happened in the 5D. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on its way. And that is because you are which is a really lovely energy, and there's such a lovely energy in this room. You are beginning to and are projecting that self-love out that you are manifesting to receive back from others. So, when we start to show ourselves self-love and self-respect, and we come into such a place of grounding and a foundation, then what happens is, because we're simply pure energy, that is the energy that we're putting out there, and that is the energy that we attract back in, like for like. So whatever it is that you're looking to receive at this time, darling, the door is open. Spirit is also saying, and I just want to show you here with the bird cage there, it's okay for you to kind of almost jump for joy, leave the cage. I feel like a lot of you, your hearts you feel very protective of your heart space, and that can be very understandable if you've gone through things that have caused your heart to go into a mode of protectiveness. But this is a door to romance where you are attracting in where you are, the person you are now, from everything that you have been through, and there's nothing to fear. It's a space where you're sort of setting yourself free from who you think you are or thought you were to where you are going to be. I hope that makes sense. I do want to talk about the door to spirit briefly again, though, as well here. This is all of you, and the energy again that I feel when I read with all of you. It's very much it's very much a space where you are all believing, and it's not seeing to believe, it's believing and seeing. So you're very much in a space of being awake. You're very much in a space of enlightenment. Although there are times where you may doubt it, you're much more in this space of kind of, you've stepped out of your mind a lot of the time. Now, all of us live in our mind a great deal of the time, but for the most part, you're all in such an observation mode about where you are in your life. And the orbs, spirit, they are guiding you for that greater understanding of not only yourself, but the part you play in the omniverse, all that is arranged in a metrical rhythm. And it's really lovely. And what spirit is saying is that those changes that you've been making, when you listen to readings, when things resonate with you, and you go back and listen to the same people that are resonating with you, you tend to take in, and I went through this when I used to listen to a lot of tarot readings, you tend to take in, without realizing it, a huge amount of very powerful wisdom and information that resonates with you, and it creates that shift deep inside of you. That's that deep level doing. So and have fun with it, spirit is saying as well. The more you believe, the more you see. And you may call it weird, you may call it wonderful, but have fun with the universe. They love to play games. They have such an impeccable sense of timing, spirit does. So have fun with it. It's not meant to be a serious thing all the time as well. So those are the two cards that have come out energetically for you. I want to see as well what animal cards. This is my animal kin oracle. Thank you, spirit. Just want to cancel, something popped up there. So what have we got? We've got go with the flow. We've got the jellyfish. Even though life can sting sometimes, they're saying, even though we feel something might be quite painful, go with the flow with it. One of the most extraordinary ways of coming to a state of peace is acceptance about where you are right now, and accepting all kind of everything you're feeling, everything you're thinking, the place you're in, acceptance and observation, detachment from it, but acceptance that it is all exactly as it should be at the moment, my darling. And if you can go with the flow of the universe, if you can have gratitude for everything that's happening around you, it is the most powerful way to release resistance and allow things to come in for you as they're meant to come in. This is the jellyfish for you at this time. And then, of course, we've got the kingfisher representing peace, because it brings you, when we fight against something, when we rally against something, when we fight against something that's outside of our control, all we're doing is causing ourselves suffering. Because if we can't change anything that's outside of our control, all we're doing is giving it energy, and that is exhausting. So it's about acceptance, and in that place of acceptance we feel relief and peace, and it's the trust that it's happening for a reason. So there we are. I feel that everybody's ready to do questions. Is that right? Shall I just move ahead and do questions? I can see lots of things coming through. Thank you, Kitty. Hello, Parry. How are you, my darling? Okay, no, Spirit is saying one more. I'm going to give you one more energy card as well. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, well, love is definitely in the air. Love is definitely in the air. I've got the love card has popped out again. This actually popped out last time my son was here. I don't know if he's here. He'll probably keep quiet till the end. Love is in the air, and this is a message maybe to some of you that are here today, where there is beginnings of something, or you feel that there is something in the air and something coming. It's a reminder to you how amazingly lovable you are, that you are perfect exactly the way you are. This is the wild rose. This is the rambling rose that kind of grows in the most beautiful way and just sort of makes people, it's not structured. So there's something very wild about you. There's something very beautiful. There's something very free about you. And Spirit is saying you are enough exactly the way you are. So just have the confidence in yourself that as your self-love is growing and your self-respect is growing and your self-awareness is growing, and that's very important, self-awareness as well, that because it's awareness of yourself in relationships to others, and it's an awareness of that really the relationship that others have with you is dependent upon the relationship they have within themselves, and that applies to you too. But this is a beautiful time for you to kind of come into a place of empowerment and confidence. So I love to see that. And Spirit is saying, keep it simple. Try not to overthink things at the moment. Everything is beautifully simplistic and arranged in a metrical rhythm. That's the omniverse. The feather represents messages. You are receiving messages at this time, signs, synchronicities. If you have been thinking leading up to January, when we tend to make New Year's resolutions, this is a time of decluttering as well. Sometimes a kind of messy space around us doesn't allow us to sit in the stillness and in the simplicity of it. So do make a plan if you're feeling that urge to. That's your creative expression, to simplify things, to get rid of things that no longer serve you, things that may have a negative energy attached to them, things that you just don't have a use for anymore and you can give on to others. And when your life is kind of cluttered, sometimes there's no room for Spirit to be there. So just a little thought for you there. Okay, so let's put those cards away, and I'm going to move on to questions. Now, what I do want to say is I know that sometimes I am missing, where did I put those cards? I am missing seeing some questions, so I do apologize for that. If there are people that haven't asked a question before, I would like to answer you. So do let me know if I haven't done a question for you before, but I will get through as many as I possibly can. So where am I going to start? Nadine, there you are. When will I meet my life partner and will he be my forever? Nadine, regards to love. Thank you. I just dropped something on the floor there. Nadine, regards to love. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Two of Swords and the Three of Crystals, my darling. It all depends on the decision and the direction that you are taking at this time. This is the gecko. This is the gecko. It's about you. I think you have a sometimes you're hiding in the shadows. You hide in the shadows. You're very warm. You're very lovely. You're very kind, but you have a tendency to shy away from things. And so Spirit is saying to you, it depends on the direction and the decisions that you're taking at this time. And you have to kind of face your fears a little bit. So if you are shy about coming forward or you don't wish to do something, maybe that's an opportunity that you're missing. Don't let your indecision, sort of hold you back. And then you've got the Three of Crystals, which is a very beautiful card here, collaboration and productivity. This is the lovely bee. Although you feel that you're not able to do certain things, you are, my darling. It's like the bee not being able to fly and can fly. And this person is part of a bigger picture for you. It's part of something. It's part of a collaboration. It's part of you creating this foundation for yourself. Thank you. Let's see what else comes out for you. Thank you. God's love. That one wanted to come out. Ace of Cups. Yes. Ace of Cups, yes, there is. It is divinely timed. It is coming in for you, but it all starts with you, darling. The Ace of Cups is self-love. It starts with your self-love. It starts with you putting yourself first. It starts with you finding that love within yourself for yourself. You are the only person you spend your entire life with. So treat yourself with love and kindness. And then that, as I talked about at the beginning of the reading, attracts in that you desire, that you deserve as well. So it is coming in for you, my darling. And it is moving towards you at the pace that's right for you. The turtle moves at the pace that's right for her. Leslie, what does Leslie need to know right now? Thank you, Kitty, for saying that. I can't go back up. So if I miss the question, just keep posting it. And I will, if I'm meant to see it, I will see it for Leslie. What does Leslie need to know right now? The Chariot. Things are moving, Leslie, faster than you may think. And the universe wants you to get out of the way of it, literally like a rhino charging down the road towards you. Thank you. There are solutions coming into things that you have been concerned about. You have to be brave and kind of almost meet them head on, that you're going to be presented with solutions. Be very determined, like the rhino, that very focus on the positive outcome on this. When I also say get out of the way of it, it's also about you not becoming attached to a certain way of something happening, and just keep visualizing and focusing on your energy moving this forward. Don't go into the negative of this is not happening and I wish this had happened, because then you're kind of getting away in the way of that rhino, that Chariot. Just keep focusing. Where attention goes, energy flows. It's so important. We are simply energy. And emotion is energy, emotion. And your energy is your most valuable asset. Protect it, guard it, cherish it, and focus it in the right direction. When you get distracted, and we all have a habit of talking about negative things. It's almost a condition within us. We talk about things that haven't happened, or things that we're fearing that are going to happen, or what happens if this hasn't. No, like the rhino, the universe is wanting to bring this to you through the path of least resistance. So it all comes down to your belief and your trust and your faith. If you know this is going to happen and you want this to happen, you want the movement to happen, you've got to set your intention that you are only going to focus on the way forward. And forward is change, that's evolution, that's progression, and it's positive thinking. So I hope that's helped you, darling. Thank you, Jody. Thank you. SC, first time question. Will my soul connection return to me soon with more balance? SC, in terms of their soul connection. Thank you, Spirit. too many cards, but I got the 10 of Acorns, which is the 10 of Wands. Thank you, Spirit. One more card, please. SC regarding love. And 6 of Crystals, which is the 6 of Pentacles. Darling, what you've got here is the 10 of Wands here. For the time being, Spirit is saying, let go of this. This is a closed door at this moment in time. I know it's not quite what you want to hear, but it is exactly the way it should be. You've taken on, you're burdened down with this energy that you're carrying around, this responsibility that you're almost feeling, this loyalty that you're feeling. And it's very beautiful and loving in a way, like the donkey was given the cross by God for the love and the loyalty he showed to Christ on the cross, but at the same time you're not allowing yourself to really come into who the divine essence of who you are. You've lost yourself to this, and so Spirit is saying, just let the door remain closed at the moment. There are new beginnings, new things that want to come in for you, but you've got to get up. You've got to get up and move forward. And that is energetically, not just physically as well. And if anything, if somebody is intended for you, then they will be in your life, or they will return to your life. Just trust and have a willingness and a determination to let go of it. You have to let go of it. And I know it sounds so easy and so hard to do that. And it may be that there are moments where you go, oh, I've let go. And then it kind of comes back into your thought process. And that's where it's important, when you catch yourself going over the same story, going over the same thing in your mind, that you actually catch yourself doing it and start observing yourself doing that, because that is this process of detachment and enlightenment by allowing yourself to step out of your mind and to watch it. So let go, let God. I mean, there's a beautiful expression, when you let God take care of everything, you start to see God's hand literally in everything. So let go. And you've got the 6 of Crystals here, which is the 6 of Pentacles. And this is that wonderful card of giving and receiving. At the moment, you're giving too much energy to this. Pull it back. It's tiring for you. It's exhausting for you at this time. You can be thoughtful and caring and, to others as well. But do remember yourself in all of this. And I hope this helps you at this time. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Liz, I'm hoping to buy my first house next year. Is this going to happen? Our Spirit's with me. For Liz, thank you, Spirit. How are you, Liz? 7 of Cups and Page of Acorns. Interesting. 7 of Cups, lots of choices. There may be that house, it may be another house, okay? Let the house talk to you. Let the house talk to you. I always believe, houses are energy as well, and houses choose us almost like custodians. And one house may talk to people walking around it saying, no, they're not meant to live here. It's meant to be, this person's meant to live here. So the house will choose you and you will know it. There are lots of choices for you, lots of different directions and paths that you can take. And it might make you, it's all part of your, it might make you feel a bit uncomfortable, but it's all part of your soul's purpose, where you're going to end up being. You're going to have a bit of a crossroads about what you're going to do. And then you've got the Page of Acorns, which for me talks about, yes, the house. You're going to be enthusiastic about it. It's going to be fun. That whole process of discovery as well. But don't be impatient like the monkey. Don't be impatient. And you're going to have lots and lots of energy about this, but also it's very important, Spirit saying, that you rest as well. So keep your impatience in check, my darling. Elida, my career has taken a turn for the worse this year. It's kind of affected my confidence, right? For Elida on her career. Sorry, my darling, if I've got your name wrong. Thank you, Spirit. Elida on her career. Thank you. What's happening there? 9 of Cups. You've got wish fulfillment. I want to get one more card. Thank you, Spirit. And 5 of Cups. Okay, hope and readjustment. And on the bottom of the deck, you've got the Ace of Cups. So this is you. I know you've taken a knock of your confidence, and the penguin can't fly, but actually nothing stops the penguin is the message here for you. Keep your, do you see again where it talks about gratitude and fulfillment? Spirit is saying, keep your focus again on this direction forward. Be very, okay, so you may have found it hard in your career, but sometimes those things that have been the hardest, or the people that have been the hardest on us, are our greatest teachers. And whatever it is that you've gone through, it's preparing you for the next stage of the greatest, grandest version of who you are. So there are things that you've had to learn and let go of on this career path for you, because there is something else, something that's this 9 of Cups that's coming in. So be grateful for the readjustments that you're having to make. And also, darling, remind yourself, and the gratitude talks about, remind yourself of everything you have achieved, all your past efforts, because this is, you're kind of speaking negatively to yourself and it makes you feel bad. So I want you to write down everything that you have achieved, and not just the obvious successes, but things that you've overcome that you found very difficult. Thank you, Pat. So kind. Thank you very much. I will come to your question, my darling. So it's just a reminder that you are amazing and you've taken a knock of confidence, but use this time when you're feeling uncomfortable and feeling unsure to then propel yourself back by helping yourself to remind yourself of everything that you have done so well. And the 5 of Cups is this space of hope and readjustment for you, darling. You're focusing at this time on things that you should have done maybe differently, and things that you wished you could have done differently. No, my darling, enlightenment is accepting exactly who you are right now, the person you are right now, because of everything you've gone through. There isn't anybody else that you should be right now. There is nowhere else you should be right now. You are perfect the way you are. Your soul knows exactly why you are where you are right now, and there is nothing else that you need to be doing. It is that hope, that readjustment, that will take you out of this space where you are right now. And then you've got this Ace of Cups, sweetie, that's come out. So this is all flowing at nature's pace for you. This is all about your self-love, okay? And look back, and if there are things that you haven't quite understood that have happened, Spirit is saying with this 5 of Cups, learn from it. That's one of the most beautiful ways of readjustment, to say, this didn't happen to me, it happened for me. Why did it happen for me? It's all going to turn around for you, darling. Pat, should I be traveling home this December, or should I postpone it? Thank you for Pat. Should she be traveling, my darling? 10 of Swords, recovery and transformation. Pat, my darling, it's one of those, it depends on how much, obviously we've got this new COVID strain that's happening at this time. The 10 of Feathers is the 10 of Swords. It's the kind of end of something, the beginning of something new. And I think your fear is kind of keeping you still at this time. I don't know if this is COVID related or just whether you should be traveling home, but close the door on what it is that you feel is stopping you from doing this, because fear is such an extraordinary thing. Fear is not real. Fear is literally a liar. And fear is something, the story that we tell ourselves about the future that hasn't happened yet. So it's not real, but we create that reality. The more we think about it, the more attention we give it. Where attention goes, energy flows. So this is a time for you to, you've got something new. This 10 of Swords is the end of, something's closed, something new is coming in for you. And the snake is amazing, because the snake sheds its skins. It's a master of renewal. So try and shed your negativity and from what it is that you're fearing, and just say, if I'm meant to be going home, how does that make me feel to be going home? Do I feel joy about going home? Do I feel fear about going home? Those answers, my darling, lie within you. It depends on your situation and what it is that you are fearing about traveling. I hope that's helped, darling. Terry, 57, is still looking for the right person for me. No more freaks and stalkers, please. For Terry, for love. Thank you, Spirit. The Tower, release and revelation. So, darling, what this is saying to me with the chameleon, thank you so much, Liz. Thank you, my darling. What this is saying with the Tower is you're either causing these people to come towards you because you're attracting something towards that you need to heal from. And the Tower can either be a kind of sudden change, massive change in your life, or it's something that you're actually disrupting yourself because your soul knows that there needs to be the end of a way of thinking and the start, a foundation of a new way of thinking. The Tower doesn't need to be scary. There's something on my roof there. The Tower doesn't need to be scary. It's all about adapting. You can. What is it within you, my love, that needs some healing as well? Because if you're getting people that you're attracting towards you that's not making you uncomfortable, there's something within you, because it's not necessarily the other person, it's your response to them. So maybe a little bit of divine intervention is happening here for you. Thank you. And it could also be your transformation as well. Queen of Cups, this is again all about you looking back. This is peace and this is compassion. This is the seal here. And then you've got the Seven of Crystals, which is, it says here, what does it say here? Options and results. I think there is and I think I can talk for many of us here, there is an impatience sometimes about things happening now, as opposed to when it's the right time for them to happen. And with the Queen of Cups, what Spirit is saying to you, my darling, is it all starts with you. It all starts with you. And it comes back to the card at the beginning of this reading. The more you can show yourself self-love, the more you can put yourself first. And do you know what? Self-love isn't, it's all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff, self-love. It's taking that nap when you want to take that nap. It's having that hot bath. It's saying no to people when you feel like you ought to say yes, but actually it's a no, you don't want to do it. It's not defending yourself when there really isn't anything to defend, but somebody's just committed to understanding you. It is so many things, but you have to put yourself first. And this is and it's going to bring you into such a place of harmony and peace, because that's all you're going to want around your life, that actually you're almost putting out a great big energetic no to all of those people that you've mentioned coming into your life. So do have a little think about that. And I hope that's helped you, darling. Is it Iman or Iman? Iman Davies, first time here. Any messages for me, please? What have you got? You've got the Chariot as well, my darling. Things are happening faster than you think. It's also a card of whatever it is that you've been looking at. It is progressing, but it's also a reminder that sometimes the universe has a funny way of bringing things forward that we're least expecting as well. You know, if a rhino comes charging down the road towards us, it also can slightly terrify us. So be careful what you're wishing for at this time, my darling. But it's that discipline and determination of keeping your thoughts positive and always moving forwards, and don't get distracted. And then you've got 5, which is the Hierophant here. Shamanic card, and this is divine wisdom and spiritual power. Spirit is saying that you have a huge amount of insight. You're not listening to it all of the time. You are literally like this eagle. You can kind of see things and sense things, and you're very kind of sharp-sighted about stuff. You can see it and feel it quite quickly. Spirit is saying there is, with this Chariot and this card, you've got to almost detach from your life and observe things that you might otherwise not be aware of. You've got to stand back and observe them from your higher self, because they could appear quite small if you're in the 3D, but in your 5D clear perception, you're going to notice opportunities and things that are there for you. And there could be somebody that's helping you at this time, somebody who's a teacher or somebody whose wisdom is divine wisdom that's coming in. Thank you, Sherry. That's so kind, my darling. So just do be aware of God works in mysterious ways, and there could be messages that are being given to you at this time as well. So that was for you, my darling. Thank you, Parry. I want to say, Parry, you come out with you express so beautifully Spirit's messages, and I am so grateful to have you here. So thank you, my darling. everybody do take note of what Harry says as well, because it's just a wonderful extra piece of the jigsaw puzzle in this evening with Spirit. So thank you, my darling. Orange Sky, that's a lovely name. First time, please can you give guidance on how I can resolve current conflict with my partner? Thank you for Orange Sky. 8 of Cups, my darling, and the 4 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Spirit is saying this is the walking away card, but it's not necessarily walking away physically. What this can also mean, my darling, it talks about here question renewal. It's about a renewed approach to handling it. And when we have within us things that we haven't resolved within ourselves, and we've all done this, we meet somebody new and they become almost like, oh my goodness, I feel so much better about my life and I feel so much better about myself. But then those old feelings are still within us, those feelings that we haven't resolved, things from our childhood, things from previous relationships we've carried into that relationship. But then it becomes the other person's fault. But we're being triggered by the same reaction the whole time. It's a reaction. So Spirit is asking you to shift your focus on this and try and look at this as something, a renewed approach to this. And part of that is the detachment of it, is to stand back and observe everything that's happening. And rather than respond reactively, respond after a place of inner stillness and quiet with a huge amount of honesty to yourself and also to them about how this is making you feel and what is the core, spiritual core root of that feeling. Is this something that you've reacted over and over and over again the same way for many, many years? And the same will be for them as well. This is neither of your faults about how you are interacting together. It's just a trigger effect, and it causes a never-ending cycle, my darling. And the starfish is a card of, although this is the 8 of Cups, it's the starfish rests on rocks, which we consider kind of analogy of sort of obstacles and problems and things, and rests and takes it at a natural pace. So this is a chance to renew. This is a chance of hope. This is a chance of healing for you. And be confident and take your time with it. But if you have nothing to say that's not from, if it's from a pain response, if it's from a reaction response, try not to say it. Try not to say it, because when two people are in an ego pain response with each other, neither listens. It just becomes a clash of egos. When you speak from your higher self, when you go into that space of stillness and then you reply and say, thank you for the right words, what will come forth will be your higher self words. And that comes from the space of love. And the person who is listening to you speak, if they are intended to receive those words, they will receive them in their entirety. If they're not intended to and they can't receive them because they're not in the same energy space as you, it's a little bit like a radio signal, they might receive a seed or two of it, but it doesn't matter whether they receive it or not. It doesn't matter. It is only a consideration for you. What is most important is how you speak those words, because in speaking them, you receive them. It is the reminder that every relationship is for the evolution of our souls. Every relationship, every experience, everything. We came to experience as a soul having a human experience, and we have a life path, and everything on that path is for our soul's evolution. And that in itself creates a slight detachment from the problem that we might be standing in front, because then we can flip it in our mind and say, well, if this is for my soul's growth, what is it that I'm meant to take from this? I hope that helps, darling. Zainab, I would say the same thing, how to navigate my high conflict divorce. Step away from it, my darling, to try and detach from it. This is the Judgment. The card has come out for you. This is, a big life-changing a time for you. And the most important thing you can do at the moment is, again, just protect that space you're in, protect your energy space. Try not to get drawn into all of the negativity. Try and trust that everything's going to work out for you the way it is intended to work out. Pick your battles, my darling. Choose things that are important for you and let other things go as well. This is a time of resurrection for you, and you are going to step away from this into literally like the peacock, the beauty of who you are. But the peacock is a reminder about ego-based responses as opposed to soul-based responses to situations. And just have this with this judgment card as well. This is like this inner calling of your soul. Have the vision to look ahead and visualize what it is that you are wanting now to create in your life, and say to the universe, say to God, thank you for helping me to understand this has already been resolved for me. Thank you. And accept whatever happens. Don't resist it. Accept it. Because in the acceptance of it, you're releasing resistance. You know, one of the extraordinary things about our journey again is that we feel, you know, that we're gathering things all the time. We're gathering information. We're gathering everything. And it's not. It's actually a process of releasing so much that we carry around. And it's also the process of allowing. Because when we try very, very, very hard to make something happen, we're tending to attach a lot of negative energy to it. So we're putting up resistance again. And sometimes we just have to relax back and let it come in. It's the allowance of it. This is going to be this process for you, my darling, is also a big part of your spiritual awakening and enlightenment process. And there will be many, many, many gifts that come out of this too. So I hope that's helped. Thank you, Perry. Thank you so much, darling. Melissa, guidance for Melissa, please. Thank you. Gregory, pop your question down again in case it pops out of my head, but I will come back to it. Oh, there you've put it there. Okay, already done. Thank you, Spirit. Melissa, messages for Melissa, please. Thank you. What have you got, my darling? You've got 6 of Cups and you've got love. So was that loving connection card for you at the beginning, my darling? So 6 of Cups, sentiment and joy, whatever this may mean for you, there is a partnership, a relationship, something, whether it's here or coming in, that it's, again, beautiful energy, focusing in that same direction where attention goes, energy flows. A relationship based on a wonderful kind of respect and self-love and understanding. Self-care is so important with the otters, because if they didn't self-care, they wouldn't survive. A trust that all the obstacles will be overcome. But it's a beautiful card. This is the 6 of Cups. This is the soulmate card for you. And alongside of it, you've got the Lover's card. So there is choices for you to make, my darling. But I feel with this card, it's a choice to make whether you're going to trust in this or not. And I think it's Neil Donald Walsh in Conversations with God talks about the 2 spectrums of love. And you have love at one end and you have fear at the other. And actually, all of it is a spectrum of love. Interesting enough, when we feel fear about something, it's because we do actually deep down love ourselves and we want to protect ourselves. So it's an interesting thought. But love, so when you have a choice to trust in love, love opens up, expands, heals, and kind of is very embracing, while fear kind of closes down and contracts, hides, hurts, harms. So it's the question, the only question you really have to ask in many, many, many situations is, what would love do in this situation? What would love do? Not fear, not anxiety, not pride. What would love do? And it's a very interesting question to ask yourself, because sometimes it removes all sorts of insecurities you may feel. Because when you ask what would love do, you're allowing your mind to quieten down and your higher self to come through. Do trust, my darling. Trust in the power of love. The universe, the omniverse is pure love. That is what it is. It's unconditional pure love. And it's an understanding that God is love. God is not somebody sitting on a cloud. The universe is energy. God is energy. That energy is love. It is that extraordinary, powerful energy. And so what would that powerful energy do? Trust in it. So I hope that's helped you, darling. Just a mummy of 6. My goodness. Hello, I'm new. I've just clicked on your channel. Any messages for me today? For just a mummy of 6. You had a lot of cards come out, darling, and they're all upside down. So I'm going to take them. I'm going to pull one for you. Thank you. So you've got the Tower and the Shadow card, my darling. There are changes for you. There's a lot of things that need to change for you. Again, you're very adaptable. It's like the chameleon. The chameleon, it's like the shapeshifter. You're very good, and this is something you're brilliant with your children about sort of adapting to their energies and stepping in and out. And you kind of make people feel very relaxed and very confident about themselves, but you feel like you're in the shadows quite a bit. You feel like you're not getting what you need. And I don't know what your soul is causing and creating at this time, but Spirit is asking you to just, there may be some changes that happen in your life, but they're all leading to something. And part of that, and this is the Devil card, but this is a really interesting Devil card. This is about self-empowerment. This is about you finding your voice as well. The Jackal is also just like the chameleon, the kind of master of shadows. And this is a time for you to go through a lot of that, what you call the dark night of the soul. It's a time for you to really look at who are you as a person, my darling, not just as a partner, if you have a partner, not just as a mother, but who are you as a person? Who is the I am within you? What is your creative expression? What is it that you wish to do? Who is the next greatest, grandest version of you? And it's about observing everything that's happening around you at this time, which is trying to give you signs and synchronicities. You've also got here the 4 of Wands, comfort and community. This is a reminder to you. This is like a sort of beautiful mother walrus here as well. But this is a reminder to you to be everything you've achieved, everything you've done. A mother for 6 children. My goodness, that's amazing. Everything you have done with a beautiful intent and a beautiful energy. Be grateful to yourself for who you are now. Be incredibly grateful for who you were yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before, because all of them have brought you to where you are here today now. And be grateful for what is to come for you in the future. So and now you've got the Awakening card here, the beautiful Awakening card again, which is again the Judgment card. This, whatever experience, whatever change is happening in your life, it's going to bring you into this incredible person that you are, that you've just hidden away in the shadows a little bit. So I hope that's helped, my darling. Natasha, any messages regarding finances and business, please? Finances and business. Okay, Queen of Acorns, passion and creativity. Darling, the Queen of Acorns is the Queen of Wands. What is your creative expression, darling? What is that? Focus on that. Only and only that. It is something that it has scope. It has scope. It has legs. It has room to grow. There is so much you are maybe not seeing that is there for you. The Queen of Wands is incredibly, she knows what it is that drives her. She understands what it is that drives her. I think for you, there is a lot of, you have a lot of imagination, you have a lot of drive, you have a lot of passion, but I feel sometimes that you're stopping short at kind of doing the necessary little steps, like the chop wood, pour water steps, and need to make this happen. It's almost like you balk at the last step. So with this Queen of Wands, please be confident. Be confident in what you do. You have an extraordinary amount of energy, like the deer. It's like a sort of boundless energy. Use that energy wisely. When you're feeling you have boundless energy, then you do. That's fantastic. When you're not feeling it, don't do it, because then you're attaching negativity to it. Tap into that creative expression for yourself. It's really, really important. That is your soul speaking to you. That is literally your soul coming through the clutter of your mind, saying quietly and very peacefully, this is me. That is your creative expression. Thank you, Dips. Now, who was it that I missed? Domestic violence no more. How are you, darling? Where will I end up living, and will my workshop support me financially? Yes. You know this already, my darling. You know this already. You've got the 10 of crystals has popped up. Maybe you're going to be living by water. I don't know. So the 10 of crystals is the 10 of pentacles. That is what abundance means for you, darling. It can be financial success. It can be happiness all around, but it also just means so many other things in terms of how you wish to live your life. This is stability and attainment. So yes. And then you've got the page of crystals. So it's so interesting. It's like as you make that step, okay, page leading to the 10. I'm sure with you, darling, didn't we have in a previous reading about what you were doing, which is fantastic. And I know that this is your life path. So you will be receiving the support that you need moving forward. But it's about you at this moment of time putting in that essential groundwork in order to achieve what it is you're looking to do. It's very similar to my last answer. You have worked incredibly hard, but always do it with that right intention, that right focus, without focusing too much on things that are not happening. You have that success coming to you, but you've got this page. So this is the first stage of it, this page of crystals, this page of pentacles. And it talks here about ideas and discipline. So go with the creative ideas, go with that expression. The discipline is training your mind to come away from the worry. And that's what Spirit is saying. The fox is a master problem solver. You are going to receive the solutions to what you feel may be problems, but maybe they're little opportunities for you to learn from at this time. And you are very capable and more than capable of seeing the wood for the trees. And this page of pentacles, whatever this transitional time, is setting events in motion for you. So just keep your eyes peeled a little bit like a fox for that next opportunity. Maggie, do the spirits have any advice about a relationship with James? For Maggie. 10 of Cups, blessings and well-being. And for Maggie, a message about relationship with James. Ace of Cups, 11 of Cups, and 2 of Acorns on the bottom of the deck. So Spirit is saying with this 2 of Acorns, the 2 of Wands, this is the Falcon. You need to slightly change your focus of thought at this time. Just a little bit like the Falcon changes direction and a whim kind of thing. So, but also the Falcon, you're very focused on what you want to achieve, and that's very good. You have this insight and this foresight. And with this 2 of Wands, you've kind of already, you're holding onto one wand and you've kind of got the other wand in the ground. So there's a lot that's already happened within this space, within this relationship. Keep focusing on that. Okay, keep focusing on that. Just be prepared, though, to be flexible about how things might happen and things might move forward. The 10 of Cups is about blessings and well-being with this relationship. But you see this pelican is sort of sitting in the stillness. And so a lot of this for you, my darling, is savoring each moment you have rather than wanting the next, wanting the next, wanting the next, wanting the next. Savor the moments. Be in the stillness. Be in the present. I know it sounds a bit corny, but a happy life is simply made up of happy moments. And it's the importance for you of which you have so much appreciation for and love for family and friends, and you're very loyal and you're very social, but it's very much stop looking at the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. Just bring it back to the present moment. And then you've got this beautiful Ace of Cups. So again, this is slow moving. This is happening at your pace. That's what Spirit is saying. It's happening in your pace. Thank you, domestic violence. Who am I doing? Gregory, you popped up there, darling. Gregory, message for Gregory. Thank you, Spirit. Gregory, message for Gregory. 2 acorns. Again, my darling, this talks about insight and focus. Be prepared to change direction. Again, there's something that you are going to have to make a decision about that you are committed to or you're wanting to be committed to. Do be very aware again of opportunities and things that are coming in for you. And make very balanced choices, darling. Don't make choices from fear. Make them from your knowing and your hope and your trust in the outcome of this. But do be prepared to take a flight, literally in a new direction, is what Spirit is saying for you. Aurora, it's a beautiful name, darling. Any guidance from Spirit on my path forward? Thank you. You've got the King of Cups and you've got love. So there's very much love. Your focus at the moment is, can you see here? The King of Cups has come out here. And then next to it, you have the love card. So between the two of them, you've got this. So what Spirit is saying with this is that you are at this moment of time, like this King of Cups, you have a huge amount of love there, darling, within you. You find it quite difficult sometimes to kind of balance yourself with your emotions, and sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming. There's a lot in the past that's keeping your attention at this time, and again, you're going to have choices to make with trusting in some form of relationship or partnership or commitment, but Spirit is saying this is the Ace of Acorns. With that, this is whatever this choice is that you are going to make. It is divinely guided. It is a gift. It is something that's coming in at exactly the right time for you. And it's part of the kind of essence of who you are. It's a gift that's going to allow you to experience that, because wands are about the attention and the energy that you're focused, that you're giving on what it is that you're passionate about. And the ram in this is about being confident and raring to go. I hope that helps you. I'm just going to pull one more card for you. Thank you. So yes, you've got release and recovery from whatever it is that's been holding you back energetically. This is the moth here rising up. And so you have literally through sheer will been going through a process of releasing, recovery and healing at this time, which is, you know, it's been hard because like a moth, you've had to kind of navigate your way through a lot of stuff in the dark, and you've been fluttering around kind of looking for the light. But you haven't, what's so beautiful is that heartache and that place that you've been, like the seahorse, you kind of find it difficult to balance yourself, but you've done it through sheer will. You know, you've kind of learned, you haven't taken love and turned it into something that's very negative. You've turned it into something that's all about wisdom that you're gaining for yourself. And this is you've had a huge amount of breakthroughs coming through. This is why this moth is kind of breaking out of this Three of Swords, these feathers. And then you've got the Sun card. So this is about healing, the inner healing. And, you know, this hummingbird, again, it's like things that you have remembered about the past, the memories that you've kind of maybe replayed in your mind, but you've seen them now slightly differently. That's all been part of your healing process, darling. And Spirit is saying the future is bright. And on the bottom of the deck now, you've got the Three of Cups here, the dolphins. This is about celebration and joy and coming together. Thank you so much, Tips. Coming together with a group of like-minded soul family, like-minded energy. And that's an amazing space to be when you're in within an energetic group or realm of people that only have, that you have an innate understanding with them, and they only want what's best for you and vice versa. So I hope that's helped, darling. Carla, dear Victoria, any guidance for finding the perfect online job that will help me settle in Spain next year? I'm currently looking for new possibilities at current employer. Thank you. Advice for Carla. Ten of Crystals. Well, Again, are you looking to live by the water in Spain, my darling? So that's an interesting thing. That the alligator is, again, this is transition. So it's something that you're going to be able to do one thing or the other. They're not telling me more than that. It's something that you're going to feel very emotionally connected to. It's something you're going to be grounded about. You've already done a lot of the groundwork for this. So whatever roles that you've been doing before, my darling, it's going to allow you to do this. You've worked really, really, really hard. And again, you've got this page of crystals, this page of pentacles. Mr. Fox is clever. Mr. Fox is that master problem solver. Mr. Fox can see things in the dark that others can't. There's going to be something that happens for you. Okay, this is 2 lots of transitional cards. And I want you to take a step back from it now. Take a step back and just start to sit in a space where you're almost laughing and saying, do you know what? I know the perfect solution is going to happen. I know the perfect thing's going to happen. Thank you, universe. Thank you for my surprise and delight. And you are going to end up living on the coast of Spain. I hope that's helped. Thank you. Yes, I'm just going to pull one more card for you on this. Well, there's 2 actually that's popped out for you. You've got the star card. So this is Spirit saying, just glide at the moment peacefully through these waters of trust, knowing there's an awful lot happening underneath the surface that you're unaware of, an awful lot of things that are shifting and changing. And then you've got the King of Swords, which is the lion. So stand back, sit back, remove yourself from things that are just not good for you at this time. The King of Swords is somebody who, you're very good analytically at things. You're very logical as well, but you've got to really come out and say what it is that you want. I think there's some confusion with your intentions at the moment and what you're thinking about and what you're voicing, that you're giving out a conflicting energy out to the universe. So be very, very careful, tread thoughtfully about the thoughts and the words that you're using at this time. Yeah, I mean, literally, you've got to be like a lion, fearless, but a fearless communicator at this time about what it is you want the universe to give you. Because it's done. It's already done, but it might be a little bit confused at the moment. Dips, yes, my darling. Any helpful messages for me, of course, for Dips. Thank you. Dips, you have got the Tower and the Justice. There's a lot of Towers coming tonight, and the 8 of Cups. Okay, so something has changed in your life or is going to change in your life. Let me just show you these cards again. So here is the Tower card. Again, this chameleon. But you are more than capable of adapting to this. So you're either sort of changing it yourself, or it's kind of like your soul's divine intervention of whatever situation this is for you. But it's all because there needs to be an out with an old and an in with a new, an out with the reactions and in with the renewals. And you've got this Justice, and this is a beautiful 2 major arcanas here for you. So the Justice card talks about this is your life path. You're very close to it, and in terms of what it's like finding that inner truth. It's that quest again. It's about having clarity about things. This crow is like the keeper of secrets, and in fact, a lot of the stuff that you've been going through, the negative stuff that you've been going through, has given you a lot of inner truth. It's given you a lot of inner clarity. And again, I know I bang on about this sometimes, but it's about you making decisions from a place that, again, is very crystal clear about why you're making them. It is with the right intent. It is with your authenticity. It is with a very simple approach, without confusing yourself and others about what it is that you're looking to achieve at this time. And then you have the 8 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. This is a quest now. This is a quest of your soul. This is a renewal. This is an adjustment time for you. This is walking away, literally energetically, from things that just don't serve you anymore. I'm glad I got a love heart there. I mean, it was because of big dramatic cards there for you, Dibs, but I think you understand. Bug lover, Victoria, guidance and wisdom from spirit on my next best step on my spiritual path and best way to connect with spirit. 4 of crystals has flown out for you, and 4 of cups, my darling. So again, this is the beaver, the 4 of crystals, this 4 of pentacles. This is the card, my darling, of letting go, not worrying about things if they haven't quite happened right. You know, the beaver builds a dam. Is it building a dam? They build a dam anyways. They build these kind of what they may consider to be strong foundations. And sometimes the river just comes in and washes it away. And it's a little bit like the spider with her web. The beaver doesn't kind of go into a sulk or worry or sit there and think, oh my God. The beaver just goes and builds another dam. So, and generally a better one, a stronger one, and at exactly the right place. So, you know, as human beings, we're very good at sort of sometimes bemoaning our lot about things that have happened, where actually, if we flip it and say, well, hang on, was I protected then? Because that wasn't meant to happen. I wasn't meant to do that. And there's something else that's more amazing further on down the river. So it's a reminder about letting go, allowing the flow to happen, and to whatever it is that you're looking to do, to build it from a place of trust, my darling, to build it from a place of faith, because faith has the power to move mountains, and build it from that place of trust. And I really experienced this, and not by force, not to try and control it at this time, because by trying to control it, sometimes you're trying to force something that doesn't work, like a round plug into a square hole. Do take a step back and observe this. And this is this 4 of Pentacles. You're trying to hold on too tight at the moment, and you're not allowing and letting things come in, and you're also not allowing the river to wash away what isn't right for you. And then you've got this 4 of Cups, which talks about on the front of the card here, soul searching and reevaluation. So there is something within you that knows that there's something that's not quite right here. And this 4 of Cups is the universe, is literally you're focusing on things that are not working, and maybe wishing that you could do things differently, or that you had done this differently. You're beating yourself up quite a bit. And Spirit is saying, no, you know, you've done everything right. You've done everything the way you should have done. And now there is something coming in for you, but you've got to let go of it. You've almost got to kind of observe that it's happening. Go, oh my good, thank you so much. It's fantastic. But I'm still handing it over to you. I'm still handing it over to you. I'm still handing it over to you. I'm not going to try and get in the way of this. It's a really good reminder for all of us sometimes that when we are very wanting something to happen, we have a tendency to kind of force it along sometimes. And do catch yourself when you're sending that last message to somebody, or you're doing that one more thing for somebody, or you're going to do something that you're kind of thinking, oh God, should I do this or not? Catch yourself and saying, am I trying to control this? Do you know what? I might just take a step back and just see what happens without me meddling in it. And there's a huge amount of relief, because you're not then giving all this energy away with a fear attached to it, with a need attached to it. You're actually starting to have fun with the universe a little bit. So my darling, I'm just coming back to you, do with this 4 of Cups, come into the stillness, rest, meditate. That's what Spirit is saying with this card, with this crane. It's about being still. I've mentioned this, before, but a way to step out of our mind sometimes, excuse me a second, step out of our mind and go into that lovely observation space, is to say to ourselves, okay, when I am saying I am this, or I am feeling this, there's actually, it's the stillness in me observing that I am thinking this and I am feeling that. And that stillness is your soul. That stillness is the I am. The stillness is all it is. So it's about sitting in that stillness sometimes. Try not to have too much opinion about things and just being. We all have been taught and trained and conditioned to think that in order to be successful, we have to constantly be doing. No, part of the beautiful process is releasing, sitting, relaxing, enjoying, receiving, allowing, and letting go of control. So that's just a a message there for you, darling, but I think also for all of us, sometimes, you know, it is a good reminder. Thank you, Spirit. Mickey Moore requesting guidance. Mickey Moore, message for Mickey Moore. Mickey Moore. Page of Acorns, my darling. We've had this card has popped out earlier. You have a lot of energy, my love. You have a lot of energy. You have a lot of impatience, and that's one thing that we all have to learn, this wonderful patience, temperance. Use your bursts of energy really wildly, maybe be very daring like a monkey as well. There's a naughty side to you too. Use your energy wisely. Rest when you need to rest. Again, from what I was just saying recently, it's not all about doing, it's a lot more about being and receiving. This Page of Wands, there is something that the universe is asking you to explore at this time, something that is to do again with something that you love to do, your creative expression, and it's something you're passionate about. So remain optimistic, and it's something, you're a very free spirit, so it's something that's in line with that. Thank you, Spirit. Jazzy Elizabeth, what does Spirit want me to do for Jazzy? Thank you. I hope that helped, it. Amber Glover for Jazzy. Knight of Feathers and 10 of Acorns. My darling, the 10 of Acorns was on the bottom of the deck here. So you are giving too much dedication, too much focus at this time to others. And it is not helping you. Yes, you are lovely and loyal and gorgeous and kind, and being lovely to people is very important, but you're too trusting at times. And you have an immense ability and a willingness to work very hard at things, but again, you're not allowing yourself to receive that. You're not showing yourself the same kindness and caring that you're giving to others at this time, and it is not your responsibility either to do so. And what I mean by that is, it's not your responsibility to try and fix others, to try and help others. If people do not want to be helped, then there's nothing that you can do. You can show caring, you can show compassion, but sometimes when we try and fix other people, because nobody can heal another, the only person that can heal somebody is themselves, and that is because something within them gets triggered, the ability to heal themselves. And it could be from experiences and from feelings that they're feeling, but it's not necessary from what words are that people say, unless it's a resonance for the soul that's remembering. So release your responsibility that you feel about helping others at this time. The way you can help others is to focus on yourself, to focus on your self-growth and your self-love, because then your energy shifts, your vibration shifts, and then it's like a ripple effect on those around you. So just take a moment to recharge, my darling. You're literally deplenished at the moment with your energy, and Spirit has given you this Knight of Feathers, which is your action and focus at this time should be from moving away from whatever it is that's negative around you. And it doesn't necessarily, again, mean physically. It just means not giving it so much attention. Move away from it. Focus on yourself for a while. And then that balance will come in for you. Set your boundaries, my darling, is what it's saying. Rob, are you still here, Rob? Kitty's asking. Is Rob still here? Right. Who else have we got while we're waiting for Rob? Emma, thank you for Belgium. David, try any advice from Spirit? Any advice from Spirit? Now, how do I pronounce your name then, my darling? Clodagh? I don't know how to pronounce that name, and I really don't want to get it wrong, but I will do you next. Okay, so where were we? Rob, we're waiting for you, Rob. Now I'm going to move on to Claudia, I'm just going to do you a reading. Does that make sense? You said, thank you, Charlene. I'm sorry, I don't want to pronounce your name wrong, but I am here and I'm about to pull a card for you. So thank you, Spirit. Again, okay, you've got the 10 of Acorns again, and you've got the World card. So Spirit is saying, just when we carry so much weight and responsibility for others around, and we feel, what we're feeling energetically is a pull down, and our load is not light, it's heavy. And then we can't see things and we can't hear things because we're so smothered and covered in what we feel is what we should be doing and other people's energies, that actually there is no clear direction for us. There's no clear movement forward because Spirit can't get through all of that. Because there's too much noise going on in our head. So Spirit is saying, literally, I've got this sort of feeling of you kind of getting up and just taking off all these wands and just keeping that one wand. That one wand is all you need. Your dedication at this time is, to be applauded, but also please reward yourself. Please give yourself time off from whatever it is that you're doing. And you do so much. But you have to set your limitations, my darling. And then you've got this World card, which is fulfillment and celebration. This is the end of, you've got the 10 of Wands here, and then you've got the World. This is an end of something. You're coming through something. And there is a period of time you're coming into, and maybe this is next year for you, but you're going to feel relief, and you're going to want to rest, and you're going to want to meditate, and you're going to want to be in the stillness. You're not going to want to be around anything negative anymore, and you're going to want to sit and receive and communicate in a way that is so enlightening for you. And this is the whale here, but this is this beautiful time for you of completion about something, and it's before. And look at that, I'm now seeing the Queen of Swords, which is the bat. This is a beautiful time for you, my darling, and I'm seeing 2222 on the clock, so please look that up for me, an angel number 2222. And so it's a beautiful time for you to communicate now. What is it that you are wanting? Be very clear to the universe, what is it you're wanting? This is the Queen of Swords. This is somebody who is not going to put up with stuff that makes her feel uncomfortable anymore, is not going to put up with energy that doesn't feel right, welcomes in those that are on the same energetic vibration to her, and communicates very clearly. And the bat has this ability, this kind of like sharp radar-like approach to seeing things. And you are gaining such awareness and such insight at this time. So I hope that's helpful for you, darling. So Jack. Oh, Rob's gone. Oh, that's a shame. I'm sorry I missed him. I obviously wasn't meant to ask the question for him this time, but perhaps next time. Oh, Rob, will you let him know that I will, Kitty, I will, if he comes on next time, I will make a point that he is my first question. Okay. Where are we? Jack. I have anxiety and irregular heartbeats. My daughter in France too independently. Could this be awakening when receiving more energetic link? Thank you. 8 of Feathers. Yes. 8 of Swords. It can be. What? 8 of Feathers, 8 of Swords. It can be, because when we go through an awakening change, it does have, I don't know much about this, but I was told this once, that the DNA within us, energetically, that DNA is in our children, and energetically it causes that same vibration, that same shift and change. And therefore, as we go through a process of change, it literally causes a ripple effect on those around us. So it can be part of this awakening process that you are, if there is a connection there and you're both having this anxiety as well, and this is the mouse, you're both feeling you're not being seen at the moment. You're kind of trapping your emotions at this time. There's too much going on in your head spaces at the moment, and you need to release that pressure. And that anxiety, and maybe it's a moment where you both, whether you talk to each other or to other people, but you need to get this out, because it's almost like it's pressure building within you, like a volcano that's going to erupt, and it just needs to come out, because energy doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't die, it just transmutes, it just moves around. So I haven't said that very well, I'm sorry, Spirit, but energy is emotion. So there are things that need to be said, and it is frustrating for you, and it's frustrating for whoever else it is involved in this as well. So try not to allow this to get trapped too long. I'm going to see if there's one more message for you, Jack. Thank you. But it's all good, my darling. Yes, Page of Feathers. It's a time, beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. Page of Feathers is it's a really amazing exploratory time for you now, in not just your insight, your focus, that whole process of enlightenment, but in the way that you are perceiving it and your exploration of it. And this is the Page of Feathers. And it says here, exploration and discovery. And what Spirit, I believe, is saying to me, thank you, Spirit, is the first thing that came to me with this is try and think of a new way of communicating. If the way that you're communicating isn't the way that is a way that you've been doing before. Now, one of the ways that I've always found helpful, and I have mentioned this to you before, and it takes a little bit of bravery to do it, but you say, thank you for the right words, and you start to speak. And after about 3 or 4 seconds, your mind will step in and go, no, shut up, don't say that. And you just keep going, And what you're doing is you're asking your mind, your ego, just to be quiet, and you're allowing your soul to come forth. But you have to get through that uncomfortable 3 or 4 seconds, and you keep doing it every time you speak. And it allows that communication to come from a place that is not covered up with layers of other stuff. If it's pure soul creative speaking, it is your creative expression, it is your soul's higher self, and it comes from a place of love. So think of a new way of communicating, of getting this out, and I'm going to leave that one with you. But also it's a time for kind of different ways of approaching this as well. It's sort of fresh ideas coming up, fresh concepts. Just be open, but it all comes down for you about this sword. It's about this inner truth. It's about you changing the way that you're communicating and breaking down things that were kind of conditioned ways of doing it. And again, that's a message for all of us as well. It's very important. How I think one of the big messages that's come out this evening from Spirit is about communication, and how it's not just about communicating to others, but also about how we communicate energetically as well. Oh yes, thank you, Kitty. Guys, yeah, if you're enjoying this, if you could give me a thumbs up, I would be very, very, very grateful. Thank you so much. It's a lovely free way of supporting the channel. So thank you very much indeed, and thank you, Kitty, for reminding me. That's Kitty communicating on my behalf. Thank you. And it's actually quite funny, because one of the things I get uncomfortable about is money. And so Kitty has her soul went, nope, she's gonna ask for a thumbs up, which is basically money is energy, and energy is the same as like an energy exchange of doing a thumbs up for me doing this reading. It's a very interesting concept. So I am more than delighted and happy the more thumbs up I get. And if you would like to do a donation, you can do it through the super chat function here, or you can just do it on PayPal. But again, gratefully received, not necessary, but very gratefully received. Thank you. And thank you, Kitty, for that little reminder that makes me laugh. Thank you, Irma. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, everybody. Okay, so yeah, hit the like button. Thank you very much. Ailey Dawn, hi, darling. What are my spiritual gifts, please? Thank you, Spirit. Your spiritual gifts. because you're going through this soul searching and reevaluation, you're actually more adept than you think at something that you do. And it might just be the ability to sit in the stillness and listen, but the crane stands on one leg, doesn't it? So it's something you do that a lot of others might find hard. But I know that the answer to this, my darling, for you is going to be rest and meditation led. And this is what this Four of Cups is about. And the Nine of Swords, the porcupine. So the Nine of Swords with this porcupine, this is a time of, I'm just keeping on the time as well. It's a time, it's a real time of self-empowerment for you. If you can release from yourself this need to protect yourself, there's nothing that you need to protect yourself from. The only thing is this protective energy space around you, and it's your trust and belief in that you can say no, and that energetically is very powerful. And it's the need for yourself to protect yourself from your thoughts at this time as well. Thank you, Mickey. That's so kind. This is part of this soul searching and reevaluation for you again. I'm going to, the guys, there's an amazing, I'm going to give you all, and I've talked about her in some of my readings. And this porcupine, funny enough, has reminded me of this. There is an amazing gorilla that came up in a meditation that myself and two others were doing, and she appeared in this meditation, and she's called, well, I called her Gloria. She told me her name was Gloria, and I can see her fur and everything right now. And she represents that beautiful protective energy space. It's Mother Nature. It's just grounded. It's fabulous. Whenever you're in a space of this Four of Cups, soul searching, evaluation, and the need to defend yourself, this Nine of Swords or the Eight of Swords, imagine, however, you can call Gloria in, and you imagine that you are saying no energetically to something or someone in terms of an invasion on your space, your privacy, whatever it is. And as you say no, imagine Gloria's fist pounding once on the ground in front of you, and that no ripple effect going like energy. And it's very important. It's a very protective space for you. And going back to your question, darling, and I don't know why I said that then, but it was really, Gloria popped into my head. So I was meant to mention that to you, and I believe to others as well. But you've got the Seven of Cups. And so Spirit is saying there are lots of choices, lots of different avenues you can do. We all have gifts, but it's also we all have the same gifts. Everybody has those beautiful, intuitive, divine source energy gifts. It's first of all how much you believe in it, and secondly what your soul has chosen, what's your soul's path, and it'll all become clear. If you had asked me, I don't know, say almost a year and 10 months ago, maybe 2 years ago, that I would be sitting here doing this now, I would have laughed. I said it was so ridiculous. Of course I wouldn't. I can only just about do a reading for a friend. Can't do it for, people I don't know, or go live or do YouTube. But it all just happens the way that it happens. And actually, it is my life path. I do love doing it, but the universe took me by surprise with it. And they do love a surprise and delight. So whatever gifts that you are meant to use are going to come forthwith. They're going to come and be very much in your face and there when it is that you're meant to step into that next experience of who you are. So I hope that's helped. And your soul already knows. There we are. You've got the giraffe here, the Three of Acorns, the Three of Wands, the foresight and the vision. Your soul already knows. Your soul, your higher self can already see what's happening. Oh, Jack, please remind me how to donate. Can't find the link. Yes, of course, because I moved I had to move over the live and I haven't put it in the description box. Sweetheart, you are amazing. On my website, there's my PayPal button there, or you can just do a super chat now and it'll pop. It's the same thing. It all comes through the account. So that's so kind of you. Thank you. Anne-Marie, thank you so much. Thank you. Any message for Anne-Marie? Thank you. How are we doing for time, guys? I've probably got another half an hour, and I do want to make sure that I do get to people that I haven't got to. So for Anne-Marie, messages for Anne-Marie, thank you. Two of Pentacles, kangaroo, Anne-Marie. Okay, so you're about to jump into something new for you, uncharted territory, uncharted terrain. Two of Pentacles is about not fearing this, about making decisions, again, right decisions from not fear, but hope and trust, and allowing yourself to leap naturally forward. So that means you're going to make great strides, but you're going to do it naturally. It's a very beautiful energy space, and you are going to accomplish your goals, but remain very grounded before you take each leap, if that makes sense. You know, kind of reflect before you act. But again, you've got this Queen of Swords, and this all comes down to how you're communicating, not only to yourself and to others, but obviously out there energetically to the universe. You know the answers already. You have a huge amount of perception. You can cut through an awful lot of stuff, and I will say it that way. You have an extraordinary amount of spiritual depth, my darling, and you're not afraid of the dark, and you listen for the messages, and you also, like the bat, see things from a very interesting perspective. So I hope that's helped you at this time. Thank you. And just don't be too impatient, they're saying, because I just saw the 7 of crystals. So don't be too impatient at this time. Okay, so Louise, can I ask, what made you realize that you were destined to go down the spiritual route? Oh, something happened. I mean, something happened for me a few years back, and I went through probably the most uncomfortable thing I think I've ever gone through in my life. But I realized pretty quickly that it was this kind of enlightenment process. The universe sent me the most extraordinary people at exactly the right time that I needed them. And then it was a bit like a cyclone, and I just, it was very uncomfortable, very painful. I couldn't speak to anybody for months because I couldn't quite comprehend what was going on in my head, but it was extraordinary. And I am so grateful for it. And as part of that process, I was listening to tarot a lot to help me try and make sense of it. And I kind of fell into, the universe kind of gave me a little slaps down the face and little shoves down the path, but I kind of fell into doing it. And then I would do it for a friend. And then I would do it for a friend of a friend. And then eventually during lockdown, it was time. It was time for me to go online. And that's how it sort of happened, I suppose, last year. So but it's not something, it kind of takes out, it kind of comes in. Spirit have an amazing way, your soul has an amazing way of just, as you look back on that journey, it all makes complete and utter sense, but sometimes when you're in it, it doesn't. And that's okay. That's exactly what it's meant to do. You're meant to go through uncomfortable stages in order to have that radar-like perception of things. Charlene, yes. Can I get a message before we wrap up today? Michelle, thank you so much. Message for Charlene. Thank you. Message for Charlene. Who else haven't I replied to? Ollie, I haven't done you either. Charlene, message for Charlene. Thank you. 3 of Cups, playfulness and bliss. So darling, and on the bottom of the deck, the 9 of Acorns, the 9 of Wands. I want to show you this card. I love this card. Power and perseverance. This is the Panther. Be like the Panther, my darling, at the moment. God, they're mysterious. They're amazing. You are mysterious and amazing, very powerful, very focused, like your solitude, like your alone time. Be completely at the moment with this 9 of Wands. You've stepped out of something where you you're kind of doing things differently, that you're kind of approaching life differently. It's making others uncomfortable around you, and you're finding yourself explaining things to them a little bit. And Spirit is saying you don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to explain yourself. If you have that direct perception, you're fueled by faith. This is the Nine of Wands. Be like the panther. You don't need to explain yourself. As long as you feel comfortable and you know it's right for everybody else around you, and you're taking the right steps. You can be beautifully, you can talk to people, but you do it from your higher self, but you don't do it defensively. And if they can't hear what you're saying, there's no point saying anything anyway, because if you're in a different energetic space to them, then they can't hear you. It's like a radio signal. And then you've got the Three of Cups. What that's doing is bringing in a beautiful release for you, whatever it is you stepped away from, into this wonderful Three of Cups space where you're attracting in soul family, soul tribe, who are the same energetic vibration as you. And that's incredibly powerful as well. And you are going to experience a lot of joy and happiness where before you felt kind of walking on eggshells and a little bit like that. But I go back to the panther. Be like the panther, my darling. Imagine yourself just prowling around, observing everything, and being very patient, and not allowing your faith about what it is that you're looking to do to be overcome by fear. So I hope that helps. Thank you so much. Any advice from Spirit? Any advice from Spirit? Any advice from Spirit? Oops, well, poor Emma just landed on Daisy, my dog. Oh, Daisy, I'm sorry. That was quite funny. You've got the Four of Crystals. If things are changing and things haven't worked out quite the way that you wanted to at this time, just trust that there's something better. There's something better for you. This is the Beaver. You know, sometimes we put a lot of effort and a lot of planning into something, and it doesn't quite go the way it was meant to. And it's simply because actually it's not what our soul has intended for us. And again, it's a reminder with this Four of Pentacles to let go, to trust in the process of the universe, to trust in the process of our souls, creative expression, our souls manifesting. Our soul is always causing and creating. We are causing, creating, and manifesting the whole time, consciously or subconsciously. I think that was a little orb that went there, but maybe it wasn't. And it is our soul's intent for things to happen for us, sometimes that we think they're happening to us, but actually they're happening for us. So try and just accept where you are right now, let go and let God, allow the universe to step in, and stand back and observe, and try not to build too many walls, protective walls around yourself, because the universe does have a way of removing those. So I hope that is helpful for you, darling. Oh, thank you. Charlene, oh my God, I'm cloaked and walking with the panther. No, Charlene, you are the panther. You are the panther, my darling. Six of Feathers. Who is that for? Thank you, Laura. Thank you so much. I think this is you because I was reading your thing. You've got the Six of Feathers. I haven't seen my family in 3 years. Bless you, my darling, due to Australian border closures, and they are in the UK. Do you get any messages that I will see them soon? So you've got this Six of, let's have a look now. We've got this Six of Feathers. Thank you, Spirit. And I want to show you that, which is beautiful. It's the dragonfly. So the Daisy, what was that about, darling? The Six of Feathers. This is for Laura. Hang on, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Well, I do. It's interesting because you've got the Four of Wands has popped out for you. Thank you. One more card, please, for Laura. Be very clear. Four of Cups. So Six of Feathers, dragonfly, transition and insight. There is movement here in this Six of Feathers. This is the Six of Swords. This is messages. Do I get any messages that I will see them soon? The dragonfly represents change, my darling. The dragonfly is ancient wisdom. It's kind of like DNA, isn't it? So it sort of talks about family as well. That's what Spirit is saying to me. The dragonfly lives by water. I don't know if that is a message for you there. But what is happening with the Six of Swords, whatever movement that's happening at the moment now, energetic for you or for your family, it's kickstarting things that are happening. It's kickstarting changes, and there is literally the Six of Swords is normally the boat on the water, and it's coming out of the hermit mode, which has been COVID for many, and it is going in the direction of the horizon, and it's always the light, the dawn is coming up, the solution, the new day is on the horizon. So that's what Spirit's saying, that it is on the horizon, a change. And then you've got this comfort and community with the Four of Acorns, the Four of Wands. So that's beautiful, because that's family as well. That is you enjoying a space of comfort, of home comforts, of community, a sense of kind of just all as it should be, that lovely sort of feeling. And so, yes, I think there is going to be a shift and change for you soon, my darling, but you have got to have utter faith and trust and belief in this, because faith can move mountains. And you've got here the King of Acorns, which is the King of Wands, optimism and innovation. So let's see, it's kind of like your energy, you just believe it's going to happen, and you just keep visualizing it happen, and you have no doubt. You know, those lovely words of Anthony Hopkins, believe, believe, believe. And if you can't quite believe, play the game of belief, because that is sheer power. Just believe it and know it, and you are willing it to happen towards you. Shaz Ozzy, my daughter and I have been waiting to move for a long time. It's so draining. Messages for Shaz. Is Yogi not here, Kitty? Don't know if he is here, actually. Message for Shaz. Knight of Feathers, action and focus, and Page of Feathers, my darling, and the world. Okay. And the Six of Cups, sentiment and joy. So what I'm seeing with this is there is going to be movement, darling. There is, both of you have that same intent and that same focus for yourself and your daughter. So you're both wishing to do that. That's that Six of Cups. So the message from Spirit is, you say you've been waiting for a long time. It is draining. Flip it in your mind. There is a reason for why you haven't been moving. And if you can accept where you are now, that it's something that you may not understand, but your soul understands exactly why you are where you are, and that you just release the resistance of it. It's about releasing resistance and about releasing kind of the exacerbation and that feeling that you're talking about out of things that you can't control. Just let it go and just accept where you are, because this energy of the two of you, you are combined, you're very powerful as two energies together. And if you can do that, where attention goes, energy flows, where you visualize vaguely what it is that you're looking for and how you're going to feel when you get there, and you release the how and the when and all of that, you're willing it towards you. Because look, my darling, you've got this Knight of Feathers, which again is this action and focus. It's coming away from feeling like you're trapped, coming away from feeling like you're frustrated about not being in control, to actually saying, do you know what? I'm meant to be here at the moment, not quite sure why or how, but this is where I'm meant to be, and I accept it. And I'm now going to move and direct my attention and my focus on what it is I do want, not what I don't want to happen. What is it I do want? And that's your action and focus here with the coyote. And this is going to be a whole new time of you releasing so much stuff and coming into a lovely transitional energy of having fun with this and exploration, and starting to really start to believe that you are causing and creating all of this. You're manifesting it all. And then you've got the World card, which for me, the words fulfillment and celebration are coming out here. So this is the completion of something. And the whale is this extraordinary creature that is kind of represents the whole cosmos, but it travels great distances as well, doesn't it? And it's slow, but it travels great distances, and it communicates in a beautiful vibrational way. And that is what Spirit is saying. Remember how you are communicating vibrationally about things. So I hope that's helped you, darling. Oh, that's lovely. No, you see, darling, when you say coincidence, it's so lovely, because coincidences, we all, coincidences, serendipitous moments, all of those things. And I love the fact that the dragonflies have appeared for you. Coincidences serendipitous moments, the things that we say weird, the things that we say wonderful, all those kind of things, that's our soul. Our soul has caused and created that in conjunction either on our own, with spirit, with others. And it's a reminder for you about how powerful you are, because each and every one of you who've had a question answered tonight, your souls already knew which cards were going to come out. That's how amazing spirit energy is, and you all are. Shaz Ozzy, where are you, Shaz Ozzy? Where's your question, my darling? Oh, I've done that one. Shaz, I did that one for you moving. I must have missed that one. So I did that one about you moving. Gretchen, I'm wondering if you see a partner in the near future for me, for Gretchen. Messages about love for Gretchen. Messages about love for Gretchen. Wow. Hello. So you've got the High Priestess and the Empress. So the High Priestess, there is something, a new cycle coming in for you. You're going to be feeling very contented with it, very happy with it, my darling. Do you see this lynx cat sitting here with this beautiful expression on their face? Spirit kind of playing with you here a little bit, because you've also got the Empress here. They're saying all's going to be revealed at exactly the right time for you. It is with a lovely wink as well. I don't know if you're getting something in your dreams or some sort of impression of something in meditation or sitting in the stillness, but their energy is closer than you think. And then you've got this Empress card. And so it is about you just now sitting back and receiving, literally receiving, saying, thank you, universe, for whenever this is meant to be coming in for me. This is a beautiful time for you of growth and abundance in so many areas of your life, and whatever it is that you're attracting in, my darling, it is coming in the same energetic vibration as you are. So that's lovely. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you. Who has Shelitan, Chicago? Yes, my darling. Guided wisdom, Shelitan. Is that how I'm saying your name? Shelitan from Chicago. There's a lot of communication going on here right now. Okay, so awakening again, a Knight of Feathers. So where was your question? Any guided wisdom? Yes. Make sure your focus and your attention at this time is coming away from negative, too many negative attachments, too much focus on. Sometimes we don't even realize things are negative when they are, but watching the news sometimes, or going onto social media too much and reading stuff that just isn't, it takes you away from that vibrational space that you're in. And I'm reminded of what is that lovely expression the lady from the Hope for Homeless says, somebody can't help everybody, but everybody can help someone. It is only within your vibrational space that you can actually help other people, because if you are not in a very good space yourself, you're just going to be pulling other people down as well. So that's why your energy is so important to protect, and that's why your focus and your direction is so important as well, that you are aware of it. So this is the Knight of Feathers. Make it your intent and focus to come away from negativity at this time. That is Spirit's message for you, and it's going to bring you into this beautiful space of really beginning to observe and understand and see a completely different side to how you're perceiving life, but also a completely different side to yourself that you are unaware of. And that's part of this awakening process, coming into this full beauty of who you are. And who you are is part of all it is. You are part of the I am. You are the omniverse. You are the universe experiencing in a physical form. And so is everybody else. Everything is connected. Everything's arranged in a beautiful metrical rhythm. Everything is like a spider's web. Everything is connected. We are simply energy. And sometimes that helps just get ourselves out of our head. And it's not about the things that are going on in there. It's what's going on in here, and it's our connection to everything else. And we are, we are that drop in the ocean, but we are the ocean, and we are experiencing everything in order to evolve, for our soul to evolve, because our soul came here knowing everything, but the moment of birth forgets. And so when you resonate with things that I'm saying, it's because your soul is remembering what it already knows. It is remembering that it is a member of the part that all that is, I am. So when you go, oh my God, that makes sense, or that resonates, your soul has just gone, oh, I remember that. So this is this awakening process. And it is very individual for each and every person. And your soul chooses when you're going to go through that rebirth, that awakening process. So never kind of be cross with yourself for, and this is a message for everybody as well, about all of the things that you may have got wrong in your life, you felt, all the things that you went through, because all of those were completely necessary in order for you to be where you are here today. Thank you, Gretchen, so much. Thank you so much. And you are, again, exactly where you're meant to be. So I hope that has helped you at this time. Bobby C, thank you, Kitty. Is there a message for me regarding my finances? I intuitively know yes for the better, but when and how? That's what you've got to let go of, my darling. Okay, well, message for Bobby, Spirit. Thank you. They're saying, this is about you trusting now. There is two wolves inside of us, that fear wolf and that love wolf. And the wolf that leads the pack is the wolf you feed. So release now, relax, let it go. It is on its way. This is this 5 of Cups. There needs to be a readjustment within you at this time, about reminder that things are not always as you think they are. There are other things that play here. There are other things that are kind of coming into your periphery. And if you can release, there is energy attached to you that you also need to release, my darling. There is some sort of, I know this sounds silly, but there's some energetic sadness or sorrow that is still attached there with you, and it's affecting your movement forward at this time. Thank you, Spirit. Anything more? Look back at things that you have learned from, and you've got the 7 of Swords. So I really feel that you went through something that kind of shifted you in a way that made it really kind of rocked you at the core, a lot of it. And I think you've kind of therefore shut down to receiving. And it's really important, thank you, Spirit, that we understand what money is. Money is simply energy. Like everything else, it's simply energy. And when we sorry, I'm coming away a little bit, but this is a really important message. When we see money as energy, and then we see the negative attachment we have to money, when we have a fear of, we've got to pay that bill, and we've got to do this, we've got to pay the mortgage, we've got to do this. And so we disempower our connection with money. And it's very easy to do that, but that's what we do all the time. It's conditioning within us. We disempower our attachment. And that's why I love the arigato word, thank you. And I see it as a flow of gratitude and blessing. So every time you hand money over or you receive money, you say arigato, which means I give and receive with gratitude and blessing. And it allows an empowered flow of money to come towards you, through you, away from you, back towards you. And that's what the Japanese billionaire said was his big secret, by simply saying arigato. So if that is a message for you in terms of finances, and that has popped in for me here, but you are very resourceful, my darling. And there is a purpose to what you are doing, and there is a reason for it, and you have, through the experiences in your life, have been left with truth and clarity about an awful lot of things, but you had to go through things. But just like this cheetah, and this is a cheetah here on the 7 of Swords, my goodness, you can respond swiftly to things that happen. So there are new opportunities that are coming in, so closely observe and try and change your energetic attachment to money. So I hope that's helped. Okay, I'm going to do why does the awakening, this is from Jack, why does the awakening cause these unpleasant physical symptoms, and how can we release? So it comes back to when we have things in us that is trapped, that energy is trapped, that dis-ease about things are trapped within us, it can turn into disease because the energy has to go somewhere. And if it's not coming out verbally, we're not releasing it energetically, it has to go somewhere. And that's why they say about 80 to 90% of illnesses have a spiritual root caused to them. So, and the way to release them, my darling, is, well, one of the ways I helped to release mine, it was, first of all, was acceptance about where I was, that it was okay. I was actually in that moment of time when I was feeling this way, exactly where I was meant to be. And then I did a lot of unconscious letter writing, and I've mentioned this before. And one of the ways of pulling this out of you is to quieten this. And normally when we write, we think, don't we? We kind of think about the next words, and we probably type very fast and we think, well, this goes back to good old pen and paper. You can't type. You've got to write this. And you put pen to paper and you start to write, and you can write to yourself, you can write to God, you can write to the person that you, or people that you feel that if you could say some of this stuff, you would say it to them, but you're not going to say this to them. You're just going to write it. So you write and you write and you keep writing without thinking. You just let your hand and the pen do the work, and you keep writing the next thing that comes to your head, the next thing that comes to your head. And what you are doing, that is unconscious writing. You are pulling stuff out of you that as you write, there'll be so much things that you didn't even realize was in there, and it may be completely not relevant to the person that you think you're writing to, but somebody entirely different, because it's things that go back a long way. When you finish writing it, it doesn't matter if you can't read it, read the words you're writing. When you've finished, when you feel like you've got to the end, don't read it, because in reading it, you're taking back in that energy, that dis-ease. Don't read it. You certainly don't send it. You don't share it with anybody. You burn it, my darling. You burn it and you send it off and you release and let it go that way. And you will feel an extraordinary amount of relief. The other thing is to talk to somebody and to say thank you for the right words, which I've talked about. And that way you're pulling up the words from your higher self as well. And the other way you can also release a lot of this stuff is through Reiki healing. Because that shifts those, Reiki is that we've all got these chakra sort of energy centers within us, which are all connected to our organs and all the important parts. But it's that wonderful sort of energy central, a little bit like a wheel of fortune going off in within us. And they can get blocked. They can get blocked with a lot of this energy that we've been talking about, this negative, this energy that is the dis-ease within us. And so Reiki can certainly help. And I do, I cannot say highly enough the most extraordinary individual who came to me at exactly the time that I needed her. She's a big orb. I call it my big orb. And she is Nicola Graham, and it is ikigaytherapy.com. She is an extraordinary individual. She is a Reiki master, Reiki teacher. She's also an MBIT coach. She's also incredibly psychic. She's a life pathfinder. She'll give you little slaps around the face and nudge you off on your path. And she is amazing. So ikigaytherapy.com, Nicola Graham, if that would help anybody, but certainly it's a way of releasing a lot of this energy. So I hope that's helped. Oh, arigato. That's perfect, Bobby. Thank you. Yes. I mean, anything, whether you're buying a big purchase or it's a small cup of coffee, anything, and you'll start to receive this flow of money. It's just beautiful. T keeps circling my house. Is he ready to talk, please, Susie? Oh, Michelle. Oh, and Michelle as well. Susie, I'll come back to you, my darling, but I think Michelle has been doing quite a few. Do you have anything for spiritual growth this year? On my marriage? For Michelle, thank you, Spirit. Well, the love card wanted to stay behind. Thank you. Michelle, thank you. Michelle. Hangman, just hang in there for the moment. They're saying this is the praying mantis. They are being quite funny, but I'll come back to that. And you may have guessed that already. So the praying mantis is about, this is the hangman, it's about seeing things from a different perspective. And actually the praying mantis is all about being calm and patient. I know that the female praying mantis bites the head off the male praying mantis after they've had sex. So that is not the recommendation from spirit, but it's about being calm and patient and observing and trying to see this from this perspective about you having different type of insight and seeing different solutions that are coming from this. It's that shift in perspective about you seeing everything happening for you, not to you, is going to bring you a lot of peace and understanding. And when sometimes we're in a relationship that can trigger us, it is simply because their soul's gift to us is for us to release things that we have got conditioned within us. So the praying mantis is kind of let go and just observe this now from a different perspective, from one that you have been doing. So Susie, T keeps circling my house. Is he ready to talk, please? Thank you, Jack. Jack, the other thing is that I will put the all the information that was in the one I had to delete. I will put it in the description box of this once it's over. It does include the PayPal link, if that would help. But thank you so much. Susie, T keeps circling my house. Is he ready to talk, please? Thank you. We've got the 8 of Cups here. Thank you. Is he ready to talk? I think too many cards. He's yes, no. Right, you've got. Yeah, you're very much in his thoughts. This is the 9 of Cups, and you've got the 4 of Cups as well that's come out. So this is the soul searching and evaluation card. So he's not in a very good space where he is. He does want to come forward, but this is the Knight of Wands here, darling. So there is a kind of bullish approach to it, but also a kind of fear approach to it. He has at one moment a lot of enthusiasm about doing it, but then the other moment, he doesn't know what to do. So the boar is all about wanting to rush over and full of passion and everything. And then he has a kind of hesitancy as well. So, and the reason why I'm getting this as well about being very headstrong about it is it's the Emperor card. So there is a tendency within him to kind of say the wrong thing and rush in like a bull in a china shop. And so he's aware of this within himself. He's aware he has a habit of doing this. And so there is a kind of pause on him at the moment. And he's also got this hangman. So he's trying to work out a different way. It's interesting how I've used this same deck all night, but obviously that's what Spirit intended. I've got about 8 decks around me, and I've only been using this one. So isn't that lovely? So you have got now the Ace of Cups has popped out for you. So there is a fresh, new approach, loving approach to this at the pace that it's meant to. You've got the 6 of Acorns, success and triumph. So whatever that may mean for you, but it's, this is the elk, it's the stag, it's something noble, it's something he's going to pace himself. And this is the 6 of Wands. It's about victory, but it's about doing it in a way that is not ego-based, but doing it in a way that is with the right intent. And then you've got the Justice card, which is, it's going to work out for you beautifully. And this is the truth and the clarity and the balance in terms of the delivery of it. So yes, my darling, but you have to almost just forget about it and let him keep circling until and now you've got the 2 of Cups. There we are. That's perfect. I don't think I need to say more about that. That was sort of union. Okay. Yes, Parry, it is beautiful, beautiful energy here. So thank you so much. Yes, I will, Jack. I'll put my lovely Reiki contact in the bio as well for you all. And she does everything online. She's based in Hampshire in England, and she does everything online. And she's like an angel. She's just like an angel. She's amazing. Susie H. Good night, my darling. Susie H. Message for Susie H. The Empress, darling, whatever it is you're looking for at the moment, please go into receiving mode about it. You've manifested, it's done, it's taken care of. Now you just have to kind of lollop around, having a little bit more fun and relaxing in the space that you are in at the moment. You are going through a huge expanse of creativity and of growth. There is something that you're nurturing at the moment that is kind of the birth of something new, and the Empress card can kind of talk about that. It's something that's very important to you, but do expect some beautiful outcomes from it. So I am going to wrap it up now, my darlings, because I am very sorry, but my voice is beginning to go. Thank you so much for everybody. Again, those that I didn't get to and I didn't see, do trust it was because the answer wasn't the right time for you, but come back next Sunday. And if I see your question, put it up there first, I will answer, and it will be the right time for you. So all of the Spirit's messages do always come out in the right time, and I do try and get through as many as I can. So thank you so much for being with me here this evening, and I look forward to seeing you a week today, which will be the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, the 5th of December. Can you believe it? We're going into Christmas season. But thank you so much, my darlings. Take care, and so much love to you all. Bye-bye.